The Cultural Revolution was a significant period in Chinese history that began in 1966 under the leadership of Mao Zedong. Aimed at preserving communist ideology, it sought to eliminate capitalist and traditional elements from Chinese society. This decade-long upheaval turned the nation upside down, creating chaos and deep psychological scars that linger to this day. By inspecting how the Cultural Revolution affected individual lives and the country as a whole, we shed light on its lasting impact, a topic that's not just historical, but still relevant in discussions about power, control, and human rights. Mao Zedong's goal during the Cultural Revolution wasn't merely to silence dissent. It aimed to fundamentally reshape the beliefs of the Chinese people. By employing brutal methods akin to state-sponsored brainwashing, the government sought to exert control over citizens' minds and hearts. One of the most prominent techniques was public shaming. Individuals labeled counter-revolutionaries were not merely punished, they were humiliated in front of crowds, stripped of their dignity in an effort to instill fear and compliance. Through this exploitation of psychological vulnerabilities, the Communist Party sought to create a new society, one that adhered strictly to its ideological line. This broader strategy painted a troubling picture of how power can manipulate the human psyche to suppress dissent. Public shaming was one of the most chilling tools employed during the Cultural Revolution. Imagine being publicly branded a counter-revolutionary and forced to stand before a crowd, enduring relentless accusations. These public trials were not just about punishment, they were destructive spectacles crafted to degrade individuals and weaponize fear. They created an atmosphere of suspicion amongst families and friends, making it nearly impossible to trust anyone. Neighbors would turn on neighbors, and family members were often pitted against each other, which shattered social cohesion. The psychological impact was profound, creating an unending sense of paranoia and broken relationships. Photographs and footage from this era captured the sheer humiliation, serving as haunting reminders of how such tactics are effective in erasing individuality and instilling obedience, keeping potential opposition in check. Alongside public shaming, the government established re-education camps where countless individuals were forcibly sent. But these camps weren't just jails. They were designed as psychological re-engineering centers, employing severe physical labor under deplorable conditions. Think of long hours of hard work in harsh climates, all while being subjected to brainwashing. Lack of sleep was a common tactic. Prisoners often couldn't rest, making them more pliable to the oppressive ideology being forced upon them. The camps were hotbeds of propaganda, filled with self-criticism sessions where inmates had to voice their supposed crimes. Sadly, many suffered from malnutrition and physical abuse, with some even losing their lives. The goal was to erase individual identities completely and create obedient citizens. The psychological toll of such experiences significantly scars those who managed to survive. Another tragic aspect of the Cultural Revolution was the targeted persecution of intellectuals and professionals. These were the individuals who sparked independent thought, making them a direct threat to Mao's absolute control. Many were stripped of their positions, publicly humiliated, or even violently attacked. This systematic dismantling of knowledge didn't just silence dissent, it effectively crippled the potential for innovation and critical thinking in the society. As respected figures were removed, it created a void of leadership that furthered chaos, weakening the very fabric of Chinese society. The psychological ramifications of the Cultural Revolution ripple through China even today. Survivors often face issues like PTSD, anxiety, and difficulties in trusting others. Many struggles stem not only from their direct experiences, but also from the collective trauma that permeated entire communities. Families were torn apart, relationships damaged, and a pervasive sense of fear took root in everyday life. Children of those who endured such horror were affected, inheriting trust issues and emotional scars. This long-lasting fallout deeply influences interpersonal relationships and societal stability across generations. Reflecting on the Cultural Revolution reminds us that the past still resonates today. Understanding these historical trauma teaches us valuable lessons about safeguarding individual freedoms and human rights. It's crucial to acknowledge how such oppressive regimes manipulate their citizens' psychology for control. By remembering these painful chapters, we not only honor the survivors, but also commit ourselves to preventing similar atrocities from happening in the future. Let this be a rallying cry for vigilance against any form of totalitarianism and a reminder of the precious value of human dignity. Ensuring that such history is never forgotten is vital for a better future.